Job said, man, I ain't done nothing, man.
Yeah.
He said, I don't know why this happened. Then Job have a conversation with God. Get to the end of the chapter, Job, and God restores everything back to Job. But this one thing I never saw until a couple of weeks ago. God handpicked Job for that.
Oh my God. Right.
What are you talking about? God handpicked you for the life you have. And he knows you're strong enough to handle what you're going through, because he's going to bring you through. The moment you look up, instead of looking down or look out, when you look up, God said, I got you.
Yeah.
But a lot of us haven't looked up yet. We're still trying to figure it out. How am I going to make this thing? Let me call Pastor Vic. No, don't call Pastor Vic, call God. Job realized Job never knew that. He didn't know that God had picked him for that assignment. God picked you for your assignment. But let me let you in on another thing God revealed to me this week. And I'm working on a sermon, hand-picked. I'm working on hand-picked. But I'm working on another one too, because God showed me this. Don't stop at me. I'm just a sign. Don't stop at me. I'm just a sign. What do you mean, Pastor? Got some truck drivers in here. Got some people who love to travel. When you're traveling, you going to Florida. You get on 20 and you driving down and it says, Florida, 400 miles. You don't get out the car and stop by the sign and start, Florida, yeah, we in Florida, we're in Florida. That's just a sign. Y'all ain't hearing me. When you get closer, you say 250 miles from Florida, you don't get out the car and run around and say, we in Florida at the sign. You don't. You keep driving. You keep going. You don't stop. You might not, oh, there's a sign. And keep, see, I'm not him. I'm just a sign. Don't stop at me. See, a lot of people want to stop at the pastor, or they want to stop at somebody that you think is a theological figure in your life. You want to stop at them. Don't stop at them. They're just a sign. No, I didn't hear me. I'm about to work this sermon out. I'm about to work this sermon out. Because I'm telling you, don't stop at me. I'm just a sign. Matter of fact, I ain't stopping at the sign. I'm going all the way to him. But if you're a steward instead of an owner, you treat things differently. You see, you realize the work is a gift. You realize everything you've gone through, God picked you for this. And that you don't stop at this. You keep going till you get to Christ. The work is a gift. God gave you arms and legs and a body and mind and abilities to work for his glory. The work is a gift.
Yes.
Work ain't for you to keep it to yourself. You see, if you realize that you're a steward instead of an owner, stewards realize that God enables us to earn money we have. We don't make ourselves so smart or good at what we do because we work so hard. It's pretty natural to think that the money we earn is really ours. That's natural. But I ain't talking about natural, I'm talking about spiritual. Amen. We know the training we went through, the hours we go in early, the little techniques we developed to do a good job and to be successful at what we do. We are probably very good at something we do in our job. So, when our paycheck is in our hand, we don't go away feeling guilty. We earned it. We put up with a lot and got the job done. Thank me very much. Thank me very much. I did this. Wasn't nobody on the freeway with me when I went into the job at 4 o'clock in the morning. I ain't see nobody. Wasn't nobody in the office. I opened up the office. I stayed late. I did this. I figured this problem out for the company. Thank me very much. So it's a little hard to swallow the thought that it all belongs to God. This self-righteous thought was anticipated by God in Deuteronomy chapter 8, verses 17 through 18. You may say to yourself, my power and the strength of my hand has produced this wealth for me. But remember, the Lord your God, for it is he who gives you the ability to produce wealth, and so confirms his covenant, which he swore to your forefathers as it is today. You ain't do nothing. You ain't do nothing. You ain't do nothing. God did it. God's going to do it. God done it. So you got to realize stewardship means really seeing our job as a gift from God, as God's gift. If we can run a punch press, run a corporation, write ads, copy or greet customers at Walmart, it's all possible only because God enabled us to do this. This ought to change your whole mindset after hearing this. This is that freedom I'm talking about, y'all. If you want to be free. See, because you know what? It's easy to be a financial planner when you're planning with somebody else's money. It's easy to gamble when you're gambling with somebody else's money. You ain't worried about it, no pressure on you. Guess what? That's what God is doing for us. God said, I got you set up. Your account will never run dry. The house will never break you. Because I'm the house. You'll never be without because it's mine. I own 1,000 cows on 1,000 hills, and the hills the cattle own. I got you. Just trust me. See, but God is doing like this, handing you stuff, and you're not receiving it. See, because your standards are not right. See, your standards are not right. See, when your standards not right, God can't give you nothing. Because his standards are always right. See, we don't want God to come to our standards. We need to go to his standards. See, relax. It's not really yours. I ran across this doing some research this week, this story. Listen to this story. There's this old lady who was determined to be prepared if somebody she felt threatened. Then one day she finished shopping and returned to her car. She found 4 men sitting inside the car. She dropped her shopping bags, drew her handgun, and screamed, "I have a gun, and I know how to use it. Get out of the car." The men got out of the car and ran like crazy. Somewhat shaken, she loaded her bags and got into the car. But she could not get her key into the ignition. Then it dawned on her. Y'all already know. Y'all already know. Y'all already know. Y'all sharp. Boy, y'all sharp. Her similar car was parked 4 or 5 spaces away. So she did what she had to do. She loaded her bags into her own car and drove to the police station to turn herself in. The desk sergeant nearly fell off his chair laughing. He pointed to the other end of the counter where 4 men was reporting a carjacking by an old woman with thick glasses and curly white hair, less than 5 feet tall and carrying a large handgun. No charges were filed. But she thought that was her car. She thought she owned it. And a lot of times that's get us in trouble too. We think we own something, so we start to stand up and act like it's ours. I never really thought of this place as mine. And I always say, this is not my church, it's God's church, I'm just a pastor. But subconsciously, with the control of wanting everything to be this way and that way, I was. That's why I apologized to y'all last week. I'm learning. You know the commercial where the guy's getting ready to get the tattoo? And he said, man, I'm one of the tattoo artists in the city. He said, one of the? Are you one of the best? He said, I'm one of the tattoo artists in the city. He said, okay, man. He said, man, aren't you going to draw that before you start paying? He said, stay in your lane, bro. I'm doing a tattoo. You just sit there, stay in your lane, bro. So I'm learning to stay in my lane, man. I'm learning to stay in my lane. My job is to teach you the word of God, preach the word of God, and that's it. That stuff, I mean, you know, God said, man, I appreciate your attitude, but man, no, sit down somewhere. When it's time for you to do something, I'll let you know. All day yesterday, big-headed Domingo kept saying, stay in your lane, bro. He kept saying, stay in your lane, bro. Then the other night he'll ask me to do something, but most of the time I was just sitting here. Stay in your lane, bro. When next time you see that, it's the AT&T commercial. Next time you see that commercial, you're going to laugh. Yeah, but it's true. Stay in your lane. If you're an usher, usher. You sing in the choir, sing in the choir. You teach Sunday school, teach Sunday school. You open a beautiful neighborhood, stay in your lane, bro. Bro sister, bro ham, bro whatever, just stay in your lane. No charges was filed. You see, she thought it was her car, but it really belonged to someone else. Sometimes we get all bent out of shape trying to keep and defend what we think is ours. People ruin their lives over financial rights, inheritance squabbles, and suing people they think cheated them. But God is calling us to think different, to be stewards, to just faithfully manage what God gives us. You see, before I get into our 4 points, our closing, our 4 points, I'm learning a lot of stuff at this school, at the hospital. Next week, I'm going to try to have a card out for you. Why does this thing sound down when I come down? Just signal, let me get back up here. Yeah. Stay in your lane, boy. I just told y'all that. I'm learning a lot of stuff. And one of the things I want to present y'all with next week is a card that has emergency phone numbers on it, your allergies, and social security number on there. Because in the hospital, when people come in, sometimes people come in and they don't have any idea anything on them. Their phones are locked. And if you hit the emergency button, most people don't have the information in there about the emergency. And so we have to go around and search to try to find that next key. And sometimes it takes us 2 or 3 days. And the person is in the hospital or they have died. The worst thing you can do is die and not have anybody around you. I'm seeing that. So I asked Esther to put a card together next week. I hope to give everybody that's here on Sunday. Put it in your wallet. Put it somewhere, you know, where you know people can find it easily. Because you don't know when the next accident gonna happen. See, we prepare for everything else, like accidents and death. And then if you don't have a will, man, please get a will. Get a will. And then if you shacking with somebody and you ain't married with them, get married. Because that person that has taken care of that person for so many years and been with that person, they're not the next of kin. Yeah. That causes all kind of problems. I'm telling y'all what I know. There's a man died 2 weeks ago, been common law for 17 years living with this woman, but never said that they were married in front of their relatives. For 17 years they lived together, but when he died, we had to call his mom. She didn't have any rights according to the state of Texas. I couldn't ask her anything. It's the next of kin. And if it's the spouse, then that's one thing. Yes, it goes to the spouse, but they got to be married. And then, not only that, man, if you've been married before and you ain't changed your insurance stuff over to the person you married to now, you better hurry up and change it over. Because if you leave it in that other wife, that first wife name, I'm telling you, I had a case, the man died, been married to this woman for 20 years. Didn't ever change his insurance. Man had good insurance, had a good job, had a 401k, work for a prominent company. The old wife, the first wife got everything. The new wife, all she got was the debt. The man had enough money to wipe out all his debts, but she didn't. The new wife took the money, put the woman out the house, took the car, and everything. That's deep, man. That's evil. That's Dick Dastardly. Y'all remember Dick Dastardly on the cartoons? That's yeah. So take care of your business. I think after Virgil teaches for the whole month of February, I might do a series on, how to prepare for death. And see, we, especially as black folks, we don't plan for death because we think we're going to live forever. We don't have a will, we don't have no insurance, our family got to scrape around to try to draw money to get us buried, cremated, or have a funeral, or whatever the case may be. They already sorrowful because you're not there no more. Then they got to deal with all this other stuff. Don't put your family through that.